Hello and welcome to the Pig and Whistle Tales from Azeroth. As always, here at the Pig and Whistle Inn in Stormwind, I go through a variety of subjects with regards to World of Warcraft. I grab a bottle or a pint, sit back and enjoy. This midweek episode, we'll be going over a few bits and bobs, mainly to do with Classic, but there are a few other bits and bobs thrown in there with it. So, we will start off with a forum post, and this forum post reads, "WoW Hardcore, dying to opposite faction camps." Okay, now, this is very simple. What could this possibly mean? Well, let's just say it's ridiculous. So, it's no big deal in non-hardcore to accidentally stumble on an alliance camp and die to guards that are 40 levels higher than you. On hardcore, it's quite silly. I just spent 30 hours or so and ran into an alliance camp in Hillsbrad. Like every other death so far in hardcore, not a challenging, just bad game design. So I said, okay, I'll do it again. 30 hours later, ran into an alliance camp in Ashenvale. Simple fix, make the guards an appropriate level for the zone. Takes 30 minutes? Or mark them on the map. In both cases, the NPCs were hidden behind 1, a tent, and 2, a fence. They were not targetable until it's too late. Anyway, every death so far has been silly stuff that's just because WoW wasn't designed to be the hardcore game. Honestly, at least hardcore is somewhat of a challenge, but I haven't died to a challenge yet. You died walking into an alliance town. I think you're the one who might be challenging yourself with that. Okay, so, firstly, Hillsbrad Foothills. It is notorious for being Terra Mill versus South Shore. I wonder what that means. I wonder if that means that one town is Horde and one town is Alliance. Who knows. But I wonder if you're going to level in Terra Mill as a Horde, where would the Alliance place be? That would be South Shore, so where's that? Okay, well, off to the east there's Durnhole Keep, that's a questing zone. Off to the west, there are the Hillsbrad Fields. That's a questing zone where, mobs are. And then you've got south. What could be south? Oh, a town. I wonder what this town is. It's an alliance town, obviously. It's absolutely ludicrous. It's not like it just popped up there one random day. It literally has been there since the very start of World of Warcraft. So it's nonsense. This is just stupid. Secondly, Ashenvale, it is an alliance zone, mainly alliance. There is a Horde camp on the far east, but it is mainly alliance, okay? You have Astronar that is located relatively in the middle of Ashenvale, and then everything off to the left of that is kind of alliance, apart from one small flight path at the very west side of Ashenvale for Horde. But essentially, this is just their own fault. You literally don't check your surroundings or environment. It isn't the game's fault. It just straight up isn't. You are just stupid enough not to realise that there is a alliance and opposite faction camp there. So, let's put this into context. You see people who want to run through the Barrens as alliance. This is a treacherous run, don't get me wrong, because you have to go to Ratchet, and then if you're following the path, you hit Crossroads, Horde Zone, go around it. If you want to go into Stone Talon Mountains, for whatever reason, from the Barrens, you have to go past a Horde checkpoint. Okay, this checkpoint has Horde guards, very dodgy, around level 40 upwards, and they can kill you. Straight up, can kill you. Very easy to, as well. So, yeah, you need to have the knowledge of the game and simply just put, this is a skill issue. This is a skill issue, and you have died to guards. Guards in a town, okay? Guards where you're not meant to be, essentially. Now, there are quests that take you close to other settlements, like opposite faction settlements. One of them being in South Shore that is very much the Heraclaw? Essentially, there's a quest that takes you to the graveyard of South Shore, and this graveyard has potential patrolling mobs, and it's just not worth it. People who are familiar with the game and the quest know that this is a treacherous quest to do, so they just don't do it. But people don't know their surroundings, people don't understand like anything. If you ever watch a hardcore WoW compilation of people dying, you will realize how stupid and silly your brain will become when you're put under pressure. Okay, I've seen people drown themselves. Is that the game's fault? No, it's you being stupid. I've seen so many people die to guards in WoW. Is that the game's fault? No, it's people running into them. They're not aggroing from 500 yards away. You're running towards the town that you shouldn't be running towards. It's one of them things. Like, you've seen people jump in lava. You've seen people jump off cliffs and die. To lose their character, all of their hours of progression, they die just by jumping off a cliff. In 10 seconds, it's all gone. It's that simple. They get one shot by a random elite mob out in the world, which is son of Arugal or something. Now, you can complain all you want about, Hillsbrad guards and stuff. Let's actually talk about the son of Arugal. This is a level 19 or 20 or something elite mob that wanders around Silverpine Forest and has been the killer of many hardcore WoW characters. And it's absolutely amazing to see. It's great fun. It keeps you on your toes while you're leveling. But people don't complain. People don't go, oh my god, why is he here? This is stupid game design. It's a fun part of WoW, and that is the classic experience. If you don't want the classic experience, then you don't have to play it. It's that simple. And that's the same, with retail. If you don't like the retail experience, you go play classic, vice versa. It's absolutely ridiculous that you can sit there and say, nope, this is clearly the game that is in the wrong here. You run into guards in a town and you're blaming the game. Just how stupid is that? How utterly stupid is that? And the guards actually do serve a purpose in South Shore and Tarim Mill, I believe. I believe this will happen in Tarim Mill. But the guards are a higher level because there are syndicate assassins that actually attack the town. And by helping the guards and tagging some of these assassins, you get a quest for killing them. Now, these assassins are probably about 10 levels usually above what you are. Anywhere between, 10 to 5 levels usually, higher than what you want to be leveling in South Shore at. So you need these guys to actually help you and protect you. And they do their job. And this is the same with Tarim Mill as well. Otherwise, these syndicate assassins will literally be controlling your town, and then you'll cry that there are these syndicate assassins and you can't play the game. It's something stupid like that. But yeah, it is what it is. There's nothing you can do about it. You just shouldn't run into a alliance town. It's really quite that simple. Now, the next one is a little bit more open-ended. So why do you play Classic? Okay. Retail offers new content every few months. True. Sometimes. I mean, we had the Wall of the Draenor incident, but we won't mention that. Much better class balance. A large variety of events and side games. Fair and square PvP. This guy has never PvP'd. No griefing nor bullies. There is griefing. I would say there is griefing. You can grief in many different ways in retail. A variety of endgame content for all types of players, from clickers to top skill players. This one I agree with. You can find groups at your skill level at any time. Kind of agree with it. And graphic is, well, I think this is meant to put graphics, but graphics are way more better. What does Era Classic have? Don't tell me leveling and world traveling experience when a half of leveling population is sitting in mage boost camps, and the other half typically can't afford boosts and struggle to find dungeon groups from leveling 30 plus, in addition to everyone buying summons and world buffs. Okay, so what Classic offers is a different World of Warcraft. Now, this can change depending on what people think, but my World of Warcraft experience, my retail experience is very much, I focus on retail as my main game, my main World of Warcraft, because it is World of Warcraft. That is World of Warcraft, okay? I use Classic, any form of Classic, whether it be Season of Discovery, Cataclysm Classic, Classic Era, any of these. I use these as sort of filler World of Warcrafts. Now, what I mean by this is ones that I can log on to and really just chill out. Okay, I don't have to worry about anything. I can just chill, turn my brain off, vibe, have a good time. I do not have to really go for it in comparison to when I play retail World of Warcraft, because what I do in retail is very much...
Let's take a quick break.
Unova, a land of promise and opportunity, turned sour by economic depression at the turn of the decade. People and Pokemon alike struggle to survive even in a time of rapid industrial expansion. The powder keg brews between the populace and the military police corps. Dark, twisted forces stir just below the surface. But, in this night sky, there are stars. Pinpricks of light. Of hope. Welcome to the mad streets of Unova.
Arenas, and I'm very high intensity, like when I'm in these arenas, comming, gaming, whatever it might be. Cataclysm is very much a slower pace, so that is why I play Classic. Now, other people might play Classic because they just like the feel of the game itself. They don't like the faster paced nature of retail. They might not like something about it, whether the class that they play is enjoyable or not. So let's say they play Boomkin, for example. Let's say that they just don't enjoy it. They just don't enjoy retail Boomkin, and that's as simple as it needs to be. It doesn't need to be anything else. If they don't enjoy it, they don't enjoy it. They are not forced to play it. I'm very curious, actually, what some of these are, what some of the replies are. There are definitely some fun things about retail. I just got my Keystone Master Mount. I might try and push high keys. Tanking on Druid. The events are pretty decent. Delves are pretty chill. Profession stuff is okay. And once you get used to dragonflying, I don't think it feels very good not having it. But Classic has a nice slow pace and content, especially now. It is very user-driven. Heck, even Cataclassic, some of the best gaming I've experienced is completely because of the faction disparity and user-driven community. That's fair enough. I could just be very out of the loop and not know how people form communities or meet others in retail, but it all feels very automated to me, to the extent that it sort of feels like a single-player game. It very much depends on who you know and who plays retail, I think. I think that's what it's going to come down to for that one. And they replied to you can find people at your skill level. I think that's that while there's something to be said about skill-based matchmaking, I remember reading something about a pesto recipe, about how a food processor will give you that store-bought consistency, but grandma's... is he meant to put mozzarella? Cut basil will have a variety of shapes and sizes in cuts that give it a... this guy is weird. I don't even know what this guy's trying to say with that. I think he's trying to say, you can obviously mix and match with everyone, and the skill differentials are obviously part of the game, and it actually makes the game a little bit, more enjoyable, I guess. I'm guessing that's what he's going for there. I really don't know. Look, I'm going to dissect these points one by one. New content every few months. Yes, mostly. Okay, mostly. Much better class balance. I would say yes. I would say if you look at pre-Cataclysm, a lot of the class balancing is inept, maybe even awful. So I would say, retail's a bit better, but at the same time, retail does have meta classes, and there are some classes that I would deem a lot easier than others, in my honest opinion. Ellie Shaman being one of them, Fury Warrior being one of them, Demon Hunters, them sort of them sort of classes. A large variety of events and side games. Yes, I would very much agree with this. This is a good example of this is actually there is a micro holiday that is or is slash has just finished, depending on when you listen to this, and that was during the 12th of the 11th, and this micro holiday is very much the Moonkin holiday. You basically train some baby Moonkins, and that is it. That is the holiday. You don't get any sort of rewards for it. You don't get much for it. It's just something to have fun and enjoy. And I think it's really cute and really fun. So I've done it essentially, and I think it's really, really enjoyable and something that people should try more, like these little micro holidays, because they do go under the radar a bit. Fair and square PvP. This guy has not PvP'd. Okay? He really, really hasn't. You can't say it's fair and square PvP. An MMO is never fair and square. You are on somewhat of a similar level because of gear, because of how the game has developed over the years, where everyone's got some form of CC, everyone's got some form of stun or interrupt or anything along them lines. But it isn't fair in terms of we have the same I don't know, weaponry almost. The guns aren't the same is the best way to describe it, because I have and let's say for a shaman I have a really fast rate fire gun. For a rogue I have a shotgun instead. It's all in one go, all or nothing, whereas a shaman you're constantly doing damage, that kind of thing. So I wouldn't say that it's fair. I would say he's very off on this, and this point is kind of null and void, because the fair and square PvP, don't think it will ever exist in an MMO. And no griefing nor bullies. There's always going to be people griefing, and there's always going to be bullies, is the best. I'm not sure really that's the best way to put it, but there's going to be people who are dicks in the game, and it's just what happens. It's just one of them things. You can't stop it from happening. But again, this is nothing new to Classic as well. Classic definitely has these types of players with it as well. So it's just a null and void point for both matters, in my honest opinion. Variety of endgame content. Yes, you do have the mythic pluses. You do have the normal dungeons, follower dungeons now. You have PvP, you have, what else is it? Delves and stuff. So you do have a very big variety, as well as stuff like, what is it called? Pet battles, multiple stuff like that. So this is very good, and something that retail really does work on well and do better than Kata and Classic in general, which is really, really good. You can find your groups at the same skill level. Doesn't really matter, because in Cataclysm, I play with my guild, and we are very diverse in skill level, but I don't care. I have the best time when I'm with them. And the thing is, it's not even that diverse. We are still all very good at the game, but there are subtle differences, and these differences don't mean that I'm not going to enjoy the game. I still enjoy the game even more, though, because I just play it with people that I enjoy spending the time with. And just because someone's the same skill level as me doesn't mean that, it's going to automatically make anything better, if that makes sense. It's just a ridiculous point. Graphic is way more better. Now, let's face it, that one's always going to be a given, because as you go through the years, graphics are always going to get better and better. So this one you can't really compare, in my honest opinion. So he's got some points, but a lot of them kind of stupid. It's a tough one to dissect, in my honest opinion. Now, I want to end up with the controversial takes from the previous, what do you call it? the previous forum page, you know, the ones that have controversial takes, that is what I want to end up on. So, this guy says, Plunderstorm was immensely fun and should be a game in and itself. Okay, yeah, that's a not really a controversial take because, well, a lot of people did enjoy Plunderstorm. Oh wait, hold up, he's put more with a distinct subscription price separate from other Blizzard games. Yeah, okay, I think you've lost pretty much everyone after putting that. That is certainly a controversial take, but if I may offer another opinion, that is a fucking stupid take. Okay? Straight up a ridiculous take. Plunderstorm is a WoW-based game or game mode, and it should be included in your WoW subscription, which I can safely say that it is. If they are to do anything different, then there would be an uprising most likely. And that's not something that I think they're going to want anytime soon. I'm not going to lie. So, yeah, not sure about the whole new subscription for Plunderstorm thing there, mate. I think you lost a lot of people. Legendaries should be a 1 per server drop. Okay, I like the idea. The only problem that you're going to have monitoring this is what if people want to switch servers? So let's say someone gets a drop, someone gets a legendary drop on Dark Moonfair. This is the server that I play on. Now, let's say I'm really pissed off about this. So I pay for a realm transfer to a completely dead realm. Okay, the realm's completely dead. I get a legendary, and then I want to go back to Dark Moonfair. What then? Does my legendary get taken? Do I, just complain on the forums that I've spent 50 quid transferring characters, and now they DE'd my legendary, I don't think it's a bad idea. I think maybe 1 is too crazy. I think you can maybe look at maybe 5, but I don't think it can be server-based because the servers very much fluctuate in numbers. So maybe you do a certain amount for EU and NA. So maybe there's 1,000 legendaries in the whole of EU and 1,000 in the whole of NA. And if your account has one of them, you cannot be flagged for another, that sort of thing. What do you think about that? I feel like that's a fair compromise because that way people still have a very good chance of getting it, but it's also, still a lucrative item. It's not bad. It isn't a bad take, in my honest opinion. And the final one, the game isn't as bad as people on the forums would have you believe. This one is very true. I would say that people on the forums tend to overreact a little bit. Just a little bit, though. But that is where I will end it for this episode. Thank you all very much for listening. Do check out all of the socials down below. Constant stuff happening over there. As well as the Etsy shop. More things are going up there on the daily basis. So please check it out. It'll be nice to maybe pick something up for Christmas time. But thank you all very much once again. And go with Valor, friend. Goodbye all.